Grow a Garden, just 2 months ago, it was the biggest game we've ever seen, not just on Roblox, but in the entire gaming space, peaking at over 23 million concurrent players, casually holding 3 million even at odd hours. But as Sun Tzu once said, whatever rises this fast falls even faster. And here we are, Grow a Garden's worst day ever, barely 500k players. While newer games like 99 Nights in a Forest and Steal a Brainrot, both inspired by Grow a Garden, are completely destroying the competition, even Grow a Garden itself. This isn't a coincidence. Every day, Grow a Garden is hitting new lows. Simply put, it's finally falling off. Some of you might be sad, but let's be real, most of you are glad it's happening. Even I'm tired of a simple gardening game being the face of Roblox, limiting actual fun and original experiences. But this video isn't just another generic downfall rant. I was one of the first to predict this back when Grow a Garden was at its peak, and today I'm gonna show you exactly why the prediction came true. Real quick though, subscribe and like the video, I almost never ask. Also, at the end of this video, I'll tell you how you can win all my Brainrots and Steal a Brainrot, so stay till the end. Now, way too many of you are saying Grow a Garden is falling off because school started, and I mean way too many of you, which is just not true. I mean, look at 99 Nights in a Forest and Steal a Brainrot. These two games gained players when school started, and you can't say,
oh, most of Grow a Garden's player base is from Philippines, so they have school in their time zone.
well, that just does not make sense, because look at Steal a Brainrot and 99 Nights. Everyone gotta have school in a day. Yeah, based on the graphs, those two games do not decrease in players, while Grow a Garden does not increase when there's not school in Philippines. So if you're being real here, the school excuse doesn't hold up when you actually look at the data. These other games are proving that school starting isn't some death sentence for player counts. Even if school starting did affect the concurrent players, it's literally an AFK game. It's not like when there wasn't school, everyone was no life in this game. It's literally an AFK game. They were probably watching YouTube or subscribing to my video. So there's no way on earth that school starting made Grow a Garden's player base decrease and Steal a Brainrots and 99 Nights increase. That just does not make sense. Stop saying that, for the love of God. So if school starting is not the real reason for the start of Grow a Garden's downfall, and when I say Grow a Garden's downfall, I'm not saying the game fell off yet, but it's on its way. Even from 3 million players on average to 500k in such a short amount of time, while other games like Steal a Brainrot and 99 Nights started averaging 2 million players. The reason why is the game is just not interesting anymore. Did you really think that a game about gardening was really gonna be the biggest game for a long time? No, it's really about gardening. It can't be that interesting after a few days of playing it, and it's been months of it being out. Do you really think everyone's gonna stick around to play that game?
Oh my god, guys, let's garden some more.
The main reason people started playing the game was because it was interesting in the beginning, the way plants grew, and the fact that they grew offline, which makes you excited to log back in to see what you got. But that just gets old, because after all, it's a gardening game. Think about it. The core loop is plant, wait, harvest, repeat. That's it. There's only so many times you can get excited about virtual vegetables before the novelty completely wears off. If you were talking about GTA 5, that game was interesting because it was so different. The graphics, all the things you could do, similar to Grow a Garden when it started. But 10 years later, GTA is still interesting. While Grow a Garden 10 years later in the future obviously won't be, because it's a stupid game. I'ma just be real. The players are slowly leaving Grow a Garden and going to games like Steal a Brainrot and 99 Nights, which are also not all that, but they're a little more interactive. Let's leave it at that. The main reason why people even started playing Grow a Garden was because it was unique. You grew plants, it could be offline, the plants had growing animations until they started doubling on pets. Why do you think that when Grow a Garden started rising, Pet Simulator 99, I know everyone's favorite game, started declining till now it has barely 10k players? Preston, the most beloved game developer who does not care about making money off of his games, but is very instead passionate about his games, quit his studio, which owns all of the pet simulators. This is actually huge when you think about it. Preston built an entire empire around pet games, and he walked away from it all. That's how tired people were of the same pet mechanics over and over. The reason why this game started falling off and Grow a Garden started popping is literally because everyone started playing Grow a Garden because they were so tired of the same generic pets, and they found a game like Grow a Garden that has nothing to do with pets. It's only about growing your garden. Obviously, until Grow a Garden started releasing more pets, then you can count. Until that basically became the main point of the game. Collecting and trading the best pets literally became most of the gameplay. I swear, some pets are worth quadrillions because money in the game is now worth nothing. It's just not what the people sign up for when they start playing the game. They don't want to see generic pets like in 500 other Roblox games with 10 billion visits. People came to Grow a Garden to escape pet games, not to play another one with plants as just decoration. But those are pets. Some people may like them and some people won't. But what everyone will not like about this game is the fact that money has become pretty much useless. 2 months ago when I basically stopped playing the game, 100 billion to a trillion was insane. You're one of the richest people in the server, no matter what server you join. Now, when I join the game, I see randoms with 55 QA. I don't even know what that means. Is that a quadrillion? Like, money in this game is basically useless at this point. The economy is broken. I don't want to start playing the game again if I only have 100 billion and I see others with 550 quadrillion. Do you think that's not discouraging to all the beginners who start playing the game? Imagine being a new player right now. You join the game, excited to start gardening, alright, and immediately see people with numbers so big you need a calculator just to understand them. That's making you destroy your PC and get off the game and never log in. By the time they're even able to get 550 quadrillion, there's gonna be another admin abuse event, which is when 500 octillion becomes a standard. The economy is just broken at this point. There's no reason to even have money in this game. Maybe the only way you fight against games inflation is to have rare pets like the raccoon, which probably won't decrease in value, well, until you see that there's people selling a million raccoons on sketchy websites. The biggest problem is that the best seed and the gear you can buy in the game costs nothing compared to how much money people have. Some people can buy millions of the best gear in the game, and that doesn't have a dent in their money. It's just worthless at this point. There's no reason to even play the game. When your in-game currency becomes meaningless, the entire progression system falls apart. What's the point of earning money when it can't buy you anything meaningful? Another massive reason for why people stop playing the game is that the older audience quit Grow Garden as the game got more popular and popular, because whatever is popular is now considered brain rot, and that only little teamies are allowed to play it. That's what happened to Bloxrots. That's what happened to every single popular game on Roblox. It's not even on Roblox. Streamers like Speed or KaiSenet, everyone thinks now that the average age of their audience is no more than 12. This happens over and over again on Roblox. Older audience finds an interesting game, then the game actually becomes way too popular to the point where it's got 23 million concurrent players, until the point where that's the most popular game among little teamies. Do you think the older audience will start playing the game? Hell nah. This is actually a real pattern you can track across multiple games. The cycle always goes. Older players discover a game grows, becomes mainstream, gets labeled as kid content, older players leave, and now it's brain rot. It's way too predictable at this point. Even if the game improves, people won't come back because they don't want to be associated with it. The reason why Grow Garden is falling off is that the admin abuse events are terrible. They first of all inflate the economy even more by people having all that crazy stuff for free. Second of all, why do you think they do it every Saturday? Because they want to inflate their player count, so it gets up to like 20 million, because no one's at school. But that doesn't help the game overall, since it just goes back down to like 600k very shortly. These events are just band-aids on bigger problems. They create artificial spikes in player count, but they don't actually fix any of the underlying issues that are making people quit in the first place. Plus, when you give out valuable items for free every week, you're just making the economy inflation even worse. It's like actively trying to destroy your own game's balance. The updates in themselves have become too predictable too. New pets, maybe a new area, bigger numbers. What's the actual innovation? Where's the creativity that made people interested in the first place? It's crazy. This is a fun fact, but for some reason Grow Garden has 50 devs. Why does this game have 50 devs? Not even Rel Seas has 50 devs. Why out of all games does Grow Garden have 50 devs? This game needs only like one dev. Let's be real. 50 devs, I don't know what's going on. They didn't need this many people. I know this game is making hella money, but 50 devs for what? Think about what this game actually is. You plant seeds, they grow, you harvest them. The core mechanics are simple. The map is a rectangle. What are 49 of those developers even doing? Either there's a massive project happening right now that we don't know about, or this is some overstaffed game development team in history. And based on the quality of updates we're getting, I'm betting on the latter. So there you have it, 7 solid reasons why Grow Garden is finally falling off, and not even a single one of them has anything to do with school starting. The game lost its identity, broke its economy, and alienated players who made it popular in the first place. It's honestly impressive how they managed to fumble almost every advantage they had. This was always going to happen eventually. No game could maintain 23 million concurrent players forever, especially one built on such a simple concept. The question was never if it would fall off, but when and how badly. Now, as I promised, if you want to win all my brain rots and steal a brain rot, comment your Roblox username, join my Discord, subscribe, and you also have to like the video. I'm definitely not doing this to inflate my subscribers and likes and Discord joins to boost the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one.